Okay, this is the 7.1 day 2 homework. I believe it's this starts off with the second work page. It says Mario collected 3G seashells. Jasmine collected 10 more seashells than Mario. Write the number of seashells they collected together in terms of G. So we know that Mario is worth 3G. And then we know that Jasmine, who has an E at the end of her name, is worth 10 more than that. So 3G represents Mario, plus 10 would be Jasmine, so the answer would be 3G plus 10, and that's going to be your answer. May bought a box of markers for $B, a shoulder bag that costs twice as much as the box of markers, and a pen that costs $6 less than the shoulder bag. Write the cost of the pen in terms of B. So first of all, we know that the markers is B. And we know that the bag is twice as much as the markers. So it would be 2B. Then we know that the pen is $6 less than that. So that is 2B minus 6. In a bakery, a bag of bread rolls cost X dollars. A loaf of multigrain bread costs $2 more than the bag of bread rolls. Mr. Lopez pays $50 for some multigrain loaves of bread. Write the number of loaves of bread he buys in terms of X. Okay, so we know that the bread rolls cost X dollars. So we write that down. And we know that the multigrain, it says a loaf of multigrain costs $2 more than a bag of bread rolls. So we do X plus 2. Mr. Lopez pays $50 for some multi-grain bread loaves. Write the number of loaves of bread he buys in terms of X. So we know that each loaf of bread is going to cost this much. And we know that he's working with 50. So we're breaking up 50 into groups of X plus 2. So it would be 50 divided by X plus 2, or 50 divided by X plus 2. Either or will work. Audrey has some guppies in a fish tank. The ratio of orange guppies to silver guppies is 3 to 5. She has 12 Y orange guppies. Write the number of silver guppies she has in terms of Y. I immediately went out to our modeling and I did 3 to 5. And then I set the orange equal to 12 Y, because we know that there's 12 Y guppies. Then I knew that I had to break that 12 Y into 3 equal groups. So it's 4Y plus 4Y plus 4Y would be 12Y. Well, whatever we do to the top, if we're doing a ratio, we do to the bottom. So I do 4Y, 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 4Y. We get 20Y as our answer. Jacob is 4P years old. His niece is 5 years younger than 1/3 of his age. Write his niece's age in terms of P. So first of all, you have to find 1/3 of his age, because we know that it's 5 years younger than 1/3. So I wrote 4P divided by 3, because that's the same thing. Minus 5 is going to give you your answer. You could do it this way. 4P divided by 3 minus 5. It's going to give you the same answer. The figure shown makes up a square and a triangle. Express the area of the figure in terms of Y. Well, first of all, we know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Now, we know this is a square because it says the figure shown is made of a square. So we know that this is Y here, and this is also Y. We also know that this side is going to be worth Y also. So we know that it's going to be Y times Y. Okay? So anytime you do Y, or anytime you do a variable times a variable, that's basically itself squared. For instance, if I did 3 times 3, that's going to be the same as 3 squared. Or 4 times 4, that's going to be 4 squared. Okay? So when you do Y times Y, that's Y squared. Okay? So there's just a little mini lesson there. So we know that this is going to be, right here, this is going to be the area of the square, because it's Y times Y, so we get Y squared. Then we have to figure out the area of a triangle. Now remember, area of a triangle is length times width divided by 2. So the length is 4, The width is y, so we do 4 times y divided by 2. And if you divide a number by 2, you would get 4y divided by 2 is really 2y. So you get y squared plus 2y. That's going to be your final answer on that one. That one's kind of tough. Write an algebraic, now to the bookwork. Write an algebraic expression for each of the following. The sum of 4 and p, so it's 4 plus p. The difference, 8 less than q. Remember, if it says 8 less than, anytime you see that than, plan on sticking a number at the back. So q minus 8. Product of 3 and r is 3r. The quotient of s and 5. Ugh, I hate it when they use s. S divided by 5. Or s over 5. That's just horrible. Multiply k by 5 and then add 3. So 5 times k plus 3. Divide m by 7. So m over 7. Then subtract 4 from the quotient. So it's going to be minus 4. I do not know why I wrote minus 3. Divide j by 9 and then multiply the quotient by 2. So j divided by 9 times 2. Should actually take it a step further. That would be j over 9 times 2 over 1 equals 2j over 9. That should be the correct answer. The sum of 1/3 z and 1/5 of z. So 1/3 z plus 1/5 z. And that appears to be it for the lesson. Have a good one, guys.